So if you're looking to mic spam in TF2, you have a couple of options. One of your best options is HLDJ. It's a pretty old program. It's been around for a while. But it's still today arguably the best one out there. So if you're looking to mic spam, obviously you're going to want to download that. So once you have it downloaded, you'll have a zip file folder thing. As you can see, I already had it downloaded, but we'll get rid of that. So right here we have HLDJ. So you have this little folder here. I would just extract it, put it wherever the hell you want. I'm just going to throw this on the desktop. So now it's on my desktop. So we don't need that zip file anymore. You can go ahead and get rid of that. Alright. So you'll have HLDJ right here on your desktop. Open this up and you want to run Half-Life DJ. Settings file currently does not exist. Would you like to run setup? Always run setup. This is very important. Add all your games, yes. Now your audio key can be whatever you want. This is going to be what you're pressing when you want to start playing your song. So it'll be your turn the song on and turn your song off key. For me, I use KP down arrow, which is 2 on the number pad. Your audio directory, if I'm not mistaken, is where you want your spams to go. So what I always recommend, I've already got this because I've already installed, but what I recommend doing is making a spams folder and then putting it in your HLDJ folder. So you can see I've already got all kinds of spams in here, but I recommend doing that, and then obviously your audio directory is where your song is going to be going. So you're just going to want to find that folder, spams. There we go. Click the check mark, it'll find all our games for us. Typically TF2 and CSGO are the ones I think are mostly used for this. I don't know if it works in other source games. It's supposed to, but I don't know if it does. But I do know it works in TF2, and I think it might still work in CSGO. 7 new games. So yeah, it's all source games. Gary's mod. It might work in Gary's mod. That would make sense. If you're playing TF2, which is what this video is for, you're going to want TF. It's going to be important. So we'll do that. Hit your check mark. Now these settings, people fuck up these settings. Make sure that you have launch game application checked. That means that when you press this little button here, we don't need the other two by the way, but when you press this button here, it will launch whatever game you have set. So for me, TF2, I can launch that and then it would launch TF2. Now if you're looking for a newer program to do your mic spamming with, I would recommend SLAM. It's pretty much just the same as HLDJ. Some like it better, some like it worse. I personally use HLDJ, so it's up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set up SLAM and how to use it semi-properly. So number one, you're going to want to download it. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Oh, it's done already. Okay. So SLAM, make sure, of course, that you extract. You can put this wherever you want. I'm going to put it out on my desktop. Just call it SLAM. Oh, never mind. Select folder. Desktop, extract. Okay, so now that's on our desktop. Beautiful. Got all these lovely things open here. Jesus Christ. Okay. So, now we have SLAM. Now you need that. You can put these in a folder. In fact, I'm going to do just that. Folder, SLAM. I will just pull those right on in there. Okay, so you want to run SLAM. It does require administrator access, so make sure you have that. It's kind of important. And then it'll give you the options of what games you can use. So CSGO is its default setting. You can also use Team Fortress 2, which for the sake of this we're going to be using. And then the fun begins. So now we get to choose whether or not we're going to convert with SLAM or if we're going to convert with Goldwave. I'm going to personally convert with Goldwave. I like Goldwave. But I will show you how to convert with SLAM. So SLAM, obviously, you just go import, you choose whatever song you want, and here you go. The only other thing I typically do when I'm using SLAM is change the volume to 85. This just makes it so it's not as loud. Your bass might still have issues. Again, I don't recommend using the SLAM conversion, but you can. It is an option. And then obviously once you're done, you can just hit start, and you have to go to your TF2 console and exec SLAM, and you're good to go. You can just start using it, having a great time. All right. So when you want to convert your songs, especially nowadays with the new TF2 voice codec, I don't know if it's going to be staying, but it's in beta, so it's here. You're going to want to convert with another program. Don't ever use the built-in Half-Life DJ converter. I don't recommend using SLAMs either. So what I do is I use Goldwave. Goldwave, wonderful little program here. It's kind of like Audacity. It has more options though, and it has this wonderful thing called batch processing. That's the ultimate goal here. So what we're going to do is start off by opening up a song. I'm just going to use this song. And the only reason we're doing this is because we have to set our effects. So we're going to go to Effect, and we'll start with Match Volume. So, Match Volume. This is essentially lowering the gain of your song so it's not crackling and staticky. It's not killing people's ears. I'm still kind of playing around with this with the new codec being out. I would recommend something around -27 or 25. Up to you. I'm going to use 27 because I use louder songs for the most part. And you can just call this whatever you want, but make sure you click this little plus button here. You don't need to touch anything else. Actually, you do. My apologies. Reduce the average level to avoid clipping. Yes, I want to override. Okay. So it'll do that. Don't worry about that. You can see the waveform gets much smaller. That's what we want. Next thing we're going to do is bandpass stop. Okay, bandpass stop, very simplistic. You want to put 75, 55, 1, 2. This is just your frequency range. This is very important. And then make sure that down here in settings, this is a 3, not a 5. 5DJ EDM. Again, save that as whatever you want to call it. Click the little green plus button. Now this final part, if you're doing a song, like some pop song or something, like if you're doing some Mumford & Sons, you don't really need to do this last part. You're good right there. Go ahead and just start converting. But if you have bassier music, so like this song's an EDM song, so it's going to be bassier, you're going to want parametric EQ. And you can find that just by clicking on this button here. Parametric EQ. It looks like a little... I don't know what the fuck that looks like. Anyways, you're going to come in here. Don't mess with anything yet. Go to your presets and go down to 5-band. 5-band's right there. You can drag that wherever you want. What we're going to be doing here is lowering the bass. So not like lowering it, but we're making it so it's not as powerful to where it's breaking TF2, and it's doing that horrible staticky clipping noise. So what I always do is just put it at -6. You don't need to touch these two bottom values here. That's fine. Leave those alone. And then just save that. Again, if you're converting just, you know, bassy songs, you can just save this to whatever you already have. Otherwise, I would save it to a different set. Just because, like I said, Mumford & Sons, you know, it's just the fucking guitar and the dude singing. You don't need to do that for this. So then that'll do that. And then we don't need this song actually, so don't worry about that. We're gonna go to batch processing. So batch processing is beautiful. So you can see I've already got this set up. We're gonna add the effects here and process. We'll deal with source later, but we'll start with this. So find bandpass and get the one that you added, or you made, sorry. And then go to parametric EQ if you have that one. If not, don't worry about it. And then go to match volume and add match volume. Now you won't have 6 here, you'll only have 5, so I'm gonna get rid of those. Or not 5, sorry, you'll only have 3. But this is the order it needs to be in. Bandpass, parametric EQ, match volume. Make sure it's in that order. That's very important. And then make sure that you save this as whatever you want it to be. Click that little plus button. Go to convert. I believe this is unchecked by default. Check it. Make sure this is on wave. Go to PCM signed 16-bit mono. That's very important. And now this is where things are a little different. If the server that you're Micspamming on is not using the new codec, the new CELT or codec, you want it at 11,025. If it is using the new codec, you want it at 22,050. The reason for this is for some reason the new codec messes with the sampling rate. So if you've got, if you're going into a server with a new codec with an 11,000 sample rate, it's going to sound like Alvin and Chipmunks. Very sped up, very bizarre sounding. So the way to fix that is to just change to 22,000. And vice versa if you're going on a server that doesn't have the new codec. And then again, of course, you're going to want to save this as your set, or your process, preset, whatever the hell you want to call it. Destination, put this to your spams folder that you made earlier. Or if you're using SLAM, you didn't make it earlier, but set it to that folder. It's just going to mean that when it's done converting, it's going to put those in that folder, which is very important. And I always just put overwrite existing files. That's just because I like to test my songs. So, and then information, I just remove text, information, and pictures. Up to you, really. I don't really think you need that. You're just spamming them. You don't need them, so you're fine. And then here we are. So this is where the magic happens right here. Most of the time you won't have a song up in here. Although, lovely, we can do that. I don't add a folder typically. What I typically do is go to this, which is add files. So again, if I was to go to my music folder, I would just do this. I'll honestly just get them all, or Control A, and then convert them that way. Again, up to you. Or get whatever song you want, or songs, put it right in there. Make sure, by default, this is going to be empty. Make sure that you choose the preset you've just made, and then you just hit, I'll click on that, you just hit begin. It's going to do its thing. You'll see it does it in decompression, bandpass / stop, parametric EQ, I think it should do average scan, yeah, average scan, and then match volume. And then it's done, it's good to go. You can hop in TF2, start spamming and having a great time. So now that we've got a song loaded in SLAM, we're all good to go. Now we just have to use it. So what you have to do is hit start. Don't forget to type exec SLAM into your console. So obviously then you're going to go to TF2, exec SLAM, and then LA. That'll show you all your stuff. 1. And then you can play your song. So once you've got your spams all set up and ready to go, it's time to use Half-Life DJ to use a spam. So what you're going to go ahead and want to do, whether you use this or you use Goldwave, hopefully you use Goldwave. Please use Goldwave. Goldwave is the best. You just want to hit this button, make sure it says TF there. Steam will automatically launch it for you. And now we just get to wait for TF2 to load. So once you're loaded in, you can see it's got all this lovely stuff in here. All you have to do is type LA. You'll see all your music here. When you're just starting out, you won't have this much music, so ignore all of this. But these are all your songs. If you want to load a song, we can do that. We can do that. You just type in the number of the song, which is right next to that, and you're good to go. You can use whatever key you had to mic spam, and you're good. Time, wishing it was yours.